Hey y'all, Tournament K-Man. Today I'm going to be reviewing episode 15 of Dororo. And this episode was actually a nice one because I like how it fleshed out Lord Salome at the very least, showing off why he does the shit he does because he made a pact with ghouls and they pretty much agreed to protect the village. And I like how they showed a flashback about the village being ravaged by samurais through old Japanese looking art, which looked really beautiful, and it made it quite impactful until the ghouls showed up and took care of the villagers. So I kind of like how it shows off his stance and justifications for why he worked with the ghouls, because for one, it makes Lord Salome look realistic, and two, it shows him to be sort of like a gray area character where he's even essentially kind of trying to nudge Hakimaru to leave and just leave him alone, but Hakimaru doesn't want to because he wants his body parts back. So I like how in these instances it also shows Hakimaru's not in the complete right either, and that's what makes this episode really emotionally engaging, because essentially there is no right side, and what it all comes down to is the right side just happens to be the one that just happens to be the strongest at the moment. And this is a situation where might makes right, even though it isn't necessarily completely right. And in this instance, Hakimaru, his might ended up being the right thing because he just happened to have more power. And that's what I like about Dororo as a series in general. Just gives you these situations and it just makes you look back and it's like, damn, this shit gets really crazy, but in like a good way. So that's what I liked about this episode. Aside from fleshing out Salome, it gave you some Hakimaru development a bit because you see him take actions with more conviction, because he's sort of reminded of Daigo a bit when he hears Lord Salome's speech, and that encourages even more to want to kill the ghouls too. So that was pretty nice. You see him with more conviction. Dororo gets a bit more of character development because throughout this episode you see him kind of, actually near the end you see him question things. You see her question things like, is what they're actually doing is right and all that, and that Hakimaru should like think about that kind of stuff more. And then at the end Dororo gets pissed that Hakimaru isn't even trying to pay attention to Dororo and she just splits up from him. And I like that instance too because it shows you Dororo maturing. She's sort of like becoming a moral compass, and I like that. It makes her into a much more wiser character. And aside from those bits of character development, I thought from a story perspective it was engaging. There wasn't a moment where I thought it was dull. As for the art and animation, I'd say that's really the only thing that I wish that was better about this episode, because there were a few derpy instances. And I forgot to mention, I'd say the only downside from a story standpoint was they didn't flesh out the moth ghoul a bit more. I kind of wish they did. But other than that, though, this episode was good, and the soundtrack got the job done, and that's why I'm going to rate this episode an 8 out of 10. Still thought it did a good amount of things right, and I'm going to eagerly anticipate the next episode. So anyways, guys and gals, these are my thoughts on Dororo episode 15. Comment your thoughts on the episode in the comment section below. Rate the video, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later if you subscribe for more. Thank you all so much for watching, everyone. Bye-bye.